Good afternoon, everyone. So welcome to the second lecture on industrial engineering management. So just to revise, last time we discussed about the definitions of management. Then we saw how management is an art as well as a science and a profession. And we also saw the contributions of various people like S.W. Taylor, who is called as the father of scientific management, and Henry Fayol, who is the father of modern scientific management. We quickly discussed about 14 principles which he has given, and then we ended with the list of say discussion on functions of management. Okay, so we will take it from there. Some discussion on certain functions of management in detail, like planning and organization. And the second important point which we'll discuss today is the concept of Tau's matrix. Okay, so I hope PPT is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so these are
Yes,
the
sir.
objectives. Yeah, these are the objectives today we're going to discuss. So, functions of management, which we discussed a little bit when we are defining the definition, or say defining the management, that we may try to understand what exactly managers does. So these are the things which he does. Okay, so as I already told you, organizing function will be discussed in the next class in detail. Motivation, then leadership has word has not come here, but leadership is one thing, and decision making. These things will come in the unit number 2. And the other things like coordinating, controlling, communicating, directing, these are the terms which may be dealt in your production management or related subjects. Okay, forecasting is also part of production management. Okay, so we'll be focusing on some of the functions mostly. Okay, so planning. Before starting with that, let us have a look at how the time is spent by various managers at different levels of the organization. Okay, so if you look at planning, who spends maximum time on planning? Top level managers.
Top level managers.
Okay, so they are very less in numbers, but their most of the time goes in planning. Okay, so like the words which we have heard: mission, vision, strategies, policies, these are all formulated by these people. Okay, like when you say Tata group of companies is known for proper employee ethics, what does it mean? They have a policy that they give a lot of importance to their employees, and even if economy is down, they are facing a lot of financial problems, but still they will think about removing or reducing their employee base as the last option. Okay, so this is the policy. And recent tussles between the new chairman and the old people was the testimony of this. The new person wanted to increase the profitability. Okay, you know this incident. Okay, so that may be still going on, but one of the things was they have a different way of looking at the employees which they are having. Okay, but that may not be in case with other companies who are very strict with the performance, and they don't think twice while removing an underperforming employee. Okay, so this is not directly related to the um, operational issues, but in general, what I am trying to say is top managers, whatever vision missions they set, that becomes the guideline for all the lower level managers. Okay, so they have to work within those boundaries. Okay, now middle level managers spend lesser time on planning, but still their activities are again related around the concept of planning. Okay, so the good amount of time they spend, and the first level supervisors, they spend the least time on the planning. Okay, now organizing, again you see top level managers are maximum time spending, then middle level managers, and then the first level managers. Then leading, it becomes reverse. Top level managers, they have very less role in day to day leading we are talking about. Okay, we're not talking about leaders setting an example for the other industries and all. We are talking in terms of operational issues, like when actually you go on shop floor or closer to the actual operations. Okay, so the leading component becomes more prominent, and who plays important role is middle level managers. They have to get the things done which are planned by the higher authorities from the subordinates. Okay, so leading is the maximum time spent by middle managers, and the first level supervisors who are in direct touch with the workers working on manufacturing setup, their maximum time goes on that. Okay, like if you approach the industrial firms for industrial projects, okay, you will have this experience that they will allow you for doing the project, but as you start doing the project and you try to interact with them, you will see that they have very less time to guide you, because they are already busy with their managing day-to-day targets and all. So this all aspects are coming under leading, controlling, directing and all. Okay, and controlling is now another aspect where again top level managers play more time. Why? Because controlling is a kind of budgetary activity. Budgets, why do we make budgets? We allot certain particular amount of resources to a particular project. Okay, and we always keep and watch about the deviations. Okay, so what did we plan and what is actually going on? The moment we encounter any discrepancies, we need to take steps to fill those discrepancies and get the activities in line with the plans, policy, strategies which we have already given to them. Okay, it should not be that the discrepancies are seen but you don't work. Okay, and at the end of the say two good amount of time, say 6 months or 1 year, you feel that there is difference between what was planned and what is actually going on. Okay, so these are very important things, and that's why the top level managers play a very vital role, and their good amount of time goes in controlling activities. Okay, so I hope this thing will remain in your mind and try and understand exactly what different levels of managers spend their time in activities. Okay, So whenever you look at a particular managerial person, you need to locate at what level he is, and then it will give you a very good idea about exactly what activities he spends his maximum time. Whether it is a planning, organizing, leading, or controlling. Okay. So now one by one we'll try to see at least planning and organizing what exactly it means. And the other things we'll discuss in the next class briefly. Now planning is a very important thing. The plans will be considered as real only when we start, or say when we commit resources, people, resource in the form of the people, money, and other type of resources to that particular plan. Okay, as long as that commitment has not come, that plan is not real. Okay, so it is only in the say thinking process stage or like that. So commitment of the resources to the plan is a very important step. Okay, so planning involves, as it is shown on the slide, what is to be done. Okay, and like which sector you are operating, and what is the next to be done. Okay, say over 1 or 2 years down the line, what will be prevalent in the market. So this is all the task of the top level managers. When it is to be done, okay, everything has got a time. Okay, if you go to any big automobile company, if you get a chance to visit their research centers, okay, where they are testing their new vehicles, you will see that there are number of vehicles which are covered with their design is not visible. Okay, like you must have seen some vehicles running on the normal roads also, which are covered. Okay, they have a number plate where letters are written in yellow letters, yellow color. So they are prototype vehicles. They are being tested, and their appearance is such that you can't very easily make out what is the styling of that particular vehicle. Okay, so they have number of vehicles which on which they have already worked till the design styling stage, but they are in pipeline. They are not launched till now. Okay, so this kind of decisions also are taken by the top level manager, how it is to be done and where it is to be done. Okay, so most of the companies nowadays work operate in number of countries. Okay, number of different markets. Okay, so these are all uh, decisions to be taken under planning. Okay, and it includes the following things: strategies, policies, procedures, methods, schedules, programs, standards, and budgets. Okay, so strategies, policies, and budgets are the things which are guidelines for procedures, methods, schedules, programs, and standards. Okay, so strategies, policies, budgets are planned by the top planners. When they go to the middle level managers, they think on it and come up with procedures, methods, schedules, programs, which are passed on to the supervisors, which get things done from the workers. Okay, so strategies is the first thing. Then the policies, along with that, guide the other people in the organization, like middle level managers, supervisors, and the workers, how to work within the boundaries of these things. Okay. And again, the types, if you think, there are long range planning and short range planning. Okay, so long range planning means obviously which will extend to number of years from today onwards, and short range planning maybe 1 or 2 years we are planning. Okay, so now we'll go a little bit deep into what do you mean by strategies and try to understand how do we come up with a particular strategy? Okay, so all the businesses nowadays, they try to use strategic planning. This is the word which is generally used. So there are strategic business units. This is one of the forms of organizations which we will discuss in the next session on organization. Okay, so strategy refers to the determination of purpose. Okay, like mission, vision of the company, and the basic long-term objectives of an enterprise. So this is the first part. Like if you go to our college also, you must have seen the frames of vision and mission. Okay, that Knowledge's photo is there, and there is a statement that Srinagar College of Srinagar Institutes stands for this vision and mission. Okay, so that is a guiding principles which have to be followed by each and everyone working in that organization. Okay, within that purview, we cannot go outside that. Okay, and the second one is, once you formulate that, for achieving those vision mission objectives and of the enterprise, we need to adopt a particular course of action. Okay, and allot the resources necessary to achieve those aims. Okay, this is called a strategy. And the policies are one level, or say basically strategies include one of the elements as the policies. Okay, so policies and strategies, what is the difference? Strategies is a overall thing, and one of the constituent will be policies. Policies help or give a guideline or a framework for the middle level managers while taking decisions. Okay, so now going to the next thing, that is on discussion of TOWS metric. Okay, so TOWS is related to what is called as SWOT analysis. Okay, so all of you know what do you mean by SWOT. Okay, SWOT, can somebody tell me what is SWOT? Am I audible? Hello, what do you mean by SWOT analysis? Gandhi, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
So SWOT means, all of you know, na? You must have done in your soft skills. PPT दिख रहा है ना?
हाँ सर.
Yeah. So it is already mentioned there. S is there is a strength, opportunities, weakness, and threats analysis. Okay. So now the words are written in a different sequence, like TOWS, and there is a reason behind it. Generally, when you look at how the companies work, they generally respond to the threats in the market, isn't it? For example, recently what Jio has done, it has almost created a lot of issues for other companies in this field. Many of them are not able to earn a good profit. Okay, so it's a threat. Jio is a threat for other companies working in this field. So obviously they will have to start coming out with a new strategy as a response to this threat. Okay, so threat is a starting point most of the time. Okay, so TOWS, threat, opportunities, weakness, and strength. This is how it is. sequence. Okay. So now let us have a look at the framework this Tau's matrix gives a company so that they can come up with different kind of strategies. Okay, so first one is said to be WT, that is the fourth quadrant here. Okay, so weakness and threats. So whenever you are not strong in a particular domain, as well as you are encountering threats in that particular domain, what you do is, can you think of this situation? What will you do as a, say, top level manager if suppose you are weak also and there are a lot of threats? Any answers? What will you do? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so the situation is where you are in the fourth quadrant where you are weak as well as there are a lot of threats. So this is called as a mini strategy also. So it requires that company forms a joint venture, maybe the similarly situated firm, so that we can combine our efforts to fight that threat and overcome the weaknesses. Okay, so that is one thing. Second thing, what we can look at is liquidation of that particular line, or say selling that business. Okay, or maybe diverting the resources to other profitable products. Okay, so this is maybe looked like you are not facing the issues, but that is sometimes needed as long as you do not acquire certain expertise in this particular way of segment of the business and overcome the weaknesses. Okay, then the next strategy is WO, that is weakness internally is there, but there are opportunities presented by the external environment. Okay, so please understand this Tau's framework helps you to match the external factors which are threats and opportunities to strengthen the weaknesses which are internal factors to the firm. Okay, so we need to match external and internal factors. So WO strategy attempts to minimize the weakness and maximize the opportunities. So how do we do that? A firm with certain weaknesses in some areas may either develop those areas within the enterprise or acquire the needed competence. Okay, say for example, we may acquire a new technology, or we may acquire people who are expert or experienced in those new technologies to work for us. Okay, so that's how we overcome the weaknesses. Earlier we did not had that strength, now we overcome that weakness, convert it into strength, and then you try to exploit the opportunity which is present. Okay, so this is called as the WO strategy. Then next one is called as ST strategy. So it is based on organization strengths to deal with the threats. The aim is to maximize the former, that is strength, while minimizing the latter. Okay, so threats, whatever effects that may create on your business, we try to minimize that effect. Okay, so a company may use its technological, financial, managerial, marketing strengths to cope with the threats of a new product introduced by its competitors. Okay, so this is an ongoing thing. Means you will see that more and more you advance in technology and other areas, the kind of products, product life cycles we have, they are shortening. Okay, so I was reading in one of the articles that the vehicle which is highly liked by the customers, the maximum quantity it had sold, that was some Honda model. It was 40,000 units only. Okay, so 40,000 units is not a big number as such, but then you try to understand with the uh, more and more research we are able to do in coming up with the newer technologies, the life span of a particular model after it is launched, it is reducing. You know, quickly something else comes which is even higher in the facilities and the capabilities, maybe at the comparable pricing, and then the previous model loses its charm. Okay, so it's a competitive world, and that's why this strategic planning is a very important aspect. Now, the last type of strategy is SO strategy, that is called as Maxi Maxi. Okay, so most of the companies would like to be in this quadrant. Okay, so every company has got its desire to move from any of the quadrants to SO quadrant. Okay, so where they have good strength to exploit the opportunity presented by the external environment. Okay, so it is the aim of the enterprise to move from other positions in the matrix to this one. Okay, if they have a weakness, they will strive to overcome them, making them strengths. If they face threats, they will cope with them to so that they can focus on opportunities. Okay, so a funny video was sent to me by one of my friends. Okay, so it was related to a company. I will narrate you that and you tell me which is that company. So that video was showing a son and a father. They were selling a product. Okay, so they had a placard mentioning the price at which they are selling. Okay, so in that video it was shown that they were showing selling mangoes. Okay, so the father was selling mangoes at 40 rupees per piece, and the son was selling it at 60 rupees per piece. Okay, so what the son does is that 60 rupees, after looking at his father's placard, he reduces it to 30 rupees. Okay, after that this father reduces it to 20 rupees, and this son, what it does, he pays whatever material his father has got at the rate of 20 rupees per piece, and he purchases all the material from his father. Now his father is not left with anything to sell. Okay, everything has been in the basket of the son, and then the son raises his price from 32 back to 60. So who does like this? Today's, who is capable of doing it? आपको सुना ही आ रहा है ना? Are you able to hear me properly?
Yes, yes, yes.
But you are all not responding to my questions, so I am in doubt whether you are able to hear. You understood the example which I gave? I will send you that video on the group. You can have,
Yes, sir.
you
Yes,
can
sir.
enjoy that. But you understood the situation, the father and the son.
Yes, sir.
So son
हाँ sir,
drastically
yes.
reduces price, and he looks at what the father is doing. Father still reduces the price, and the son, he purchases all the products of the father.
Yes, yes.
And once the market doesn't have anyone else selling it, he becomes the monopoly and he increases the price. So if you want to do like this, what capabilities you should be? You should be in the first quadrant first of all. Strength भी चाहिए आपके पास, उतना cash चाहिए. आज cash किसके पास है? अगर आप सिनारियो देखोगे कंपनी का, तो the companies which are cash rich or which are debt free companies, they only can have a luxury of spending money on such kind of strategies. जैसे वॉलमार्ट भी बोलते हैं ना, वॉलमार्ट एंड दिस बिग चेन्स of consumer goods, they have this kind of strategy only. Wherever they enter, they start selling the products at a very cheap rate, and they totally take the markets of most of the products, and afterwards it is like a monopoly they have in that particular area. Okay, so they will not be asked even if they raise the a little bit their prices. Okay, so I was telling you about there are certain companies like Reliance is one which could do like this. Like there was some discussion going on that they may increase the prices of data plans and all. They have already done it, but still there are chances that if they do something, still they could be a competitive. Okay, like this Geo Fiber new concept which they have launched. In my building, they called me almost 10 times. Sir, le lo. It is 6 months. I was knowing that most of the areas in Pune, they had already launched and people were enjoying it for free. Geo Fiber laga ke gaye and they were not charged anything. Free data they got for 6 to 8 months. Okay. And they have even number of other plans. जैसे आपको पता है IoT and all these concepts are becoming more common nowadays. So the people who are having a higher age, they can exploit it immediately when it comes, like 5G concept will come. Okay, and so they have the setups everywhere, most of the major cities in India. That system is already there. The people are already working round the clock, and the moment they take a big decision, they can exploit it very easily, which may not be possible for other companies in the same field. Okay, so in addition to this, there is something called as dynamics of TOWS matrix. Okay, so this TOWS strategic planning we can do for our past, what is the present of the company, and also we can look into the future and try to find out what could be our strengths going 5 or 10 years down the line, what could be weaknesses which we may face, which could be the threats and the opportunities presented by the external environment. In the past, what was that? Present, what is the external factors and what could be in future. Okay, so we could do it. It is not a stagnant analysis, it is a dynamic one. As the time changes, your this threats, opportunities, strength and weaknesses also may change. Okay, so please expect a question on this particular point, like what do you how do you define strategy, and what please discuss the TOWS matrix framework to decide on the various strategies which the companies can go for. Okay, I hope this is very easy. You can write if the question comes in the exam. Now going ahead to the organization, so we'll end with this. Organization thing will take in
Yes, sir.
detail next time. in the next session. So organization is the second function. Please remember strategic planning versus the planning was the first one. So once you decide to commit the resources to a plan, then actual the plan becomes a real plan. Okay, and the first step is nothing but the organization. Okay, so as the definition goes, it's a process of defining, identifying, and grouping the tasks, assigning this task to the individuals so they can play effectively in cooperation and coordination with other members of the enterprise to achieve its goals. So we already had a discussion on what are the various resources. Okay, so human being is a very important resource. Other resources like machines, materials, money, energy, and information. Okay, so all these things have to be allotted to your plans. Okay, so the second definition will help you to understand this. It is the structure and the process by which a cooperative group of human beings allocate its tasks among its members, identifies relationships, and integrates activities towards common objectives. Okay, there is third one also which we will discuss tomorrow. So it also involves making available the communication channels, then physical facilities, groups of the people so that they can carry out their activities properly. Okay, so organization means what? Say if we look at our college, okay, the principal is there. Under him there are heads of the department. There is a registrar also who looks after administrative activities. Under HOD there are faculties, and under faculties there are students. Okay, so this is one kind of organization structure. Okay, so organization structure helps us to have a proper link from the lowest level people in the organization to the topmost level of the people. Suppose you want to pass on some policy till the lowermost level, that is workers, you need to have a proper structure or say organization. Same way, whenever the lowest level or say lowest rank people like workers, they have to pass on some feedback or suggestion about certain improvements, then that has to be passed on with the bottom onwards. मैंने supervisors को बोलेंगे, supervisors will convey it to the managers. So there has to be a proper communication link between the various people, various levels of the people. So that is also achieved through proper organization. Okay, so there are different kinds of organizations. One is military organization. So military organization means I think we already discussed in introductory session. Under emergency situations, you cannot have any other organization than the military type of organization, line organization. Okay, so the people who are a part of these organizations are supposed to be all-rounder people. They should have a good presence of mind, number of qualities they should possess. Okay, because most of the things are lying on them. It's their emergency situations, and you cannot have the liberty of discussing with your higher authorities or your subordinates and take a decision. Okay, so it's an emergency situation, so you need to have line type of or military type of organizations, but that's not a general status quo elsewhere. Like if you have a big company dealing with different kind of projects, you can go for a project kind of organization. Or if you have presence, if you are so diversified like Tata Motors or any other big automobile company, they are having their regular products manufacture going on, as well as they are into projects, new products to be launched. So they may go for matrix kind of organization structure. Okay, so this discussions in detail we'll see actual graphical presentations of them in the next session. Okay, so please remember the important point which we discussed today was Tau's matrix, and expected question on that is define the strategy. What do you mean by strategy? What do you mean by policy? What is the difference between them? And explain the concept of Tau's matrix, which helps the companies to come up with different strategies under different combinations of external and internal factors. Okay, so this was the final definition which I was telling you, organization. Okay. So the last line, if you look at, it is also concerned with providing channels of communication and coordination for achieving goals. Okay, so the resources we are trying to allocate. Okay, so plan which we have done in the planning stage is converted into something real by organization function. Actually, you are allocating resources to your plan.